Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So this is Mistica here, and this is just actually a small little update video as far as today's episode is concerned. It's kind of funny how sometimes when technology, it's great when it works, and sometimes it doesn't always want to work, and it's really funny like that. The funny thing is that as far as Cupid was concerned, I actually recorded an episode, and I recorded up to, oh my goodness, I think it was like almost like 40 something whatever minutes, right? And everything was all good and everything until all of a sudden, whenever I went ahead and decided I was going to pull up the video to try to edit and, do what I needed to, deal with the volume of the audio, this and that, those little things before preparing to upload it. I made an unfortunate discovery that for some weird reason, Bandicam only showed audio for the game. It didn't show my mic audio. I was all like, well, what's going on? Because normally Bandicam, if something goes wrong, it pops up something and there was no pop-up or anything. And I couldn't figure out for the life of me what was going on. So finally, I had to look at my microphone. Apparently, it's kind of funny. The plug in the back part of my microphone, because my microphone is nothing special. It's just, it's a small little, basic little microphone. It's nothing too over the top complicated. It's basic USB. You plug in and everything. And the funny thing is that even though the USB port was plugged into the computer, the end part of it that plugs into the back of the microphone was not plugged in all the way. But even though it wasn't plugged in all the way, the microphone light was on, but yet, since it wasn't connected all the way, it wasn't making a solid connection to where the microphone actually was recording. So it's like, okay, then why would the light be on if it wasn't recording? So unfortunately for today, there's not, like I said, it was like nearly 40 something minutes, and to make it worse, unfortunately, the way Cupid's game works is that it has in it, like I can even show you in the options here, it has a chapter select option, but the problem is, if you end up pretty far in a chapter, it doesn't have like sub-chapters or anything within the chapter. No, when you have to start from a chapter selection, and if you want to start from a particular point in the game, like in my case, since I accidentally ended up botching up my mic audio for what we ended up finishing up in chapter 4, and then we got into chapter 5, well, if I want to redo that part, I can redo it, but the problem is, for me to get back to the point that we were at last time and near the end of chapter 4, I not only have to go through all the stupid skip dialogue again, but of course any option choices that I chose, I have to try to do my best to re-choose the same exact ones for us to hopefully somewhat get whatever ending we were on the track of getting. So it's like, that's great. That's really great. So yeah, like I said, that's a lot to do, and I just don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna have to redo the parts I need to get to in order to get us back to where we were left off in chapter 4, and then we'll pick up with the series whenever we get there. But it kind of sucks because we did get into chapter 5, but like I said, that mic audio it never recorded for some weird reason, and my computer didn't alert me, and I don't know, the computer's like, nope, everything's fine, let's just keep going. But thankfully this game does have a chapter selection screen, so we can go back to where we left off. And I'm also starting to think that since there is multiple save slots, I need to take advantage of that, so that way this sort of thing doesn't happen again. So that way, if heaven forbid, if we end up in another issue, and also in a previous episode of ours too, we also ended up with an issue where Bandicam wasn't recording up to speed as far as the frames per second was concerned, but yet I didn't realize it because the game was playing normal, but yet the recording ended up really slowed down. And thankfully in that video it wasn't as big of a deal because I was reading every bit of text in that one. So yeah, I need to consider doing that, to use multiple save slots when a game has the option. I should consider doing that. But I guess another upside about this little update video, because we are going to finish this game. I mean, it looks like in total it's 8 chapters from what I read online. The way Cupid works is that depending on the ending you get, you might end up in different chapters, based on your ending. And it looks like there's only 4 endings anyway, but supposedly from what I read, if you end up getting like a bad ending, you may stop in like chapter 6 or chapter 7, somewhere around there. If you end up getting certain types of ending, you might stop in chapter 7 entirely, or maybe if it's a good ending, maybe chapter 8. Like I said, it's just, the ending is based upon what little bit of answers, like, because there's very, very few times you're given choices to choose from, and most of the time it's only like 2 to 3 options, but depending on those options, that determines your ending. So of course, if you start going down the course where you're getting a bad ending anyway, you might end up ending the game early, and then you won't end up seeing the rest of those chapters because of it. But hey, it's just the way this game plays. I never had any intention of doing this as a completionist thing anyway, because good lord, it's a lot of reading. But also, I guess another thing I am also going to bring to attention here is that someone actually a couple of days ago on one of my older videos for the game Edge had left comments letting me know that they have played the extended levels, and they, in their opinion, thought they were pretty good levels actually. And they told me that maybe if I ever consider going back to Edge, I should really consider doing the extended levels. So I was actually thinking maybe for a couple videos we can go back to Edge, actually play some of those extended levels, do that for a little while to take a break from this, especially since, like I said, the mic audio completely was non-existent because stupid microphone wasn't plugged in right. But yet I didn't know because the light was still on the microphone. And like I said, it was nearly 40 something flipping minutes, like almost 40, 45 minutes. I'm all like, I'm not re-recording all that. I would rather, just for the sake of this game, I'd rather just, pick up next week or maybe even a couple weeks after and, do stuff right. Especially since, like I said, there's a chapter selection in this game. So thankfully that does play the saving grace here. But otherwise than that, that's probably what we're going to do. We might go to Edge for a little while, and then we'll come back and finish this. And hopefully, depending on how long Chapter 5 is, and depending on what endings play into these, I don't know, we'll see which ending we get, I guess. And like I noted before, I'm not really a completionist, not for a game like this. I don't really consider it worth really trying to get the other endings, because something tells me in order to get all these endings, chances are you probably have to play through the whole entire game anyway, because these endings are based upon what choices you make. And as I said, there's very, very few places in the game that you're actually given options to choose. It's mainly just a lot of reading. So yeah, this is just a little update video just to let you guys know what is going on and unfortunately what happened. Like I said, my bad. It happens. I'm still new to this whole thing with Let's Plays. I'm still learning. I'm sure that I'm making more or less typical kind of mistakes that a lot of people have made, especially depending on how long they've been doing this. I'm sure I probably am making, from time to time beginner's mistakes. And in some cases, like in this, where I honestly didn't know and I assumed everything was fine, and it happens. It's like they say, like I said in the beginning, technology is great when it works. But yeah, well, like I said, it's just a quick update. But definitely next week, we'll probably just play a little bit of Edge. We'll do that for a couple of videos. Then we'll come back to this one and finish up and see where our ending is and everything. So, I guess that's all I can really say. And I will see you guys next week. So I'll see you guys around later. Much. Bye.